I just got what I wanted for Christmas.
What's that?
2 weeks off from school.
So does that mean I don't have to buy you a gift?
Yeah, think again.
He doesn't think ever since he looked up the chimney and Santa stepped on his head.
Do I smell cookies?
You certainly do, Kelly. Zack helped me bake them.
You baked?
Yeah, I made gingerbread women. Gingerbread chicks. I like it.
For you, they should have made gingerbread pigs.
Look at these.
Hey, don't you have any more cookie women?
Why? Need a date for New Year's Eve?
Ho, 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 and welcome to a very special podcast. This is the podcast where we watch all your favorite TV shows from yesteryear and then discuss them over a glass of wine or some other miscellaneous adult beverage. This week, it is, we're basically in Christmas, right?
Yes, we're in Christmas. It's Christmas time.
Deep into Christmas for the third time. And we love the Christmas season. We just fucking keep going. And I'm Patrick M. Dunn. You may remember me from previous episodes of the podcast. I can be found on Twitter at Patrick M. Dunn. And I'm joined here by Kat Halstead.
What up?
I always sound like I'm on speed when I'm like doing the intro for some reason.
Most people sound like they're on speed when they do intros.
Did it sound very like Oprah-esque? Like,
Rush of adrenaline.
you get a car, you get a car.
You should have heard me back in the day when I had to do book speeches every morning on the train.
What would you do?
I was like, okay, so the train would board at like 7:30 in the morning. The concessionaires would have to go through and give these speeches. And I was always like, you're supposed to be like cheerful and stuff. People were always like, how are you so cheerful? And I'm like, 3 shots of espresso, that's how.
3 shots of Fresca?
Speech like, good morning, everybody, and welcome aboard the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. I'm your concessionaire, Kat, and I'm working in the concession car today with my good pal, Patrick, blah, 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 blah.
And our next guest is Tom Cruise.
So, yeah.
My earbuds just fell out, by the way. Sorry, I got really visual with that Tom Cruise intro. Literally just knocked the earbuds out of my head. So, yeah,
wow.
We're very low production values here on a very special podcast.
But you guys love us anyways.
I hope so. So, where can we find all Kat Halstead's media?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope at CatDVS. You can find my website at cathalstead.com. And then there's all the stuff for the podcast, which is a very special podcast.tumblr.com, which links you to the iTunes, the YouTube, our store, our Twitter, which is at a very podcast, our Instagram, our store, everything you want to get connected to, you can get connected to from our website.
And you can buy some sexy gifts at our store. We have a I Heart 1994's Jared Leto t-shirt there, or something like that.
I Heart 90s Jared Leto.
That's it. And I'm working on a Herman Munster shirt that is forthcoming, so we'll get to that soon, and hopefully very soon. But today, as I said, we're midst in the Christmas madness. We decided to do a 2-parter this week. It's not a 2-part podcast, because the whole thing is only like 40 minutes, not even. But perhaps you know the show. Perhaps you watch it every morning before you get ready for school and work. And in the afternoon before dinner, it's Saved by the Bell. Which, I guess, it's everybody's favorite show, right?
I would be amazed if somebody told me they didn't like Saved by the Bell.
As quirky and corny as it is, it holds a special place in everybody's heart out there, pretty much.
Yeah. It's like that show that if you find it on a random Saturday afternoon or something, you sit down and you watch it.
Yeah, and it's on Netflix, so you can watch every single episode, plus the Miss Bliss years are also on there also.
Oh, really? The Miss Bliss years are up.
Oh, yeah, the whole shebang. The only thing that's not there is the new class and the college years and the the TV movies they did.
Oh, Saved by the Bell goes Hawaiian and Zack and Kelly get married in Vegas or whatever it's called.
Yes, like Hawaiian Dreams and Zack and Kelly get married. and the new class and the college years, which if you're completist like I am, it just drives you nuts.
Like, I would actually be interested in rewatching the new class, like at least the first season.
There was only one season. Oh, no, there was multiple. I forgot. Sorry. I was thinking of college years. I think, yeah, college years. Like, if PBS still airs Saved by the Bell, I don't know if they do, but they would always air the college years as part of the package. As part of the block, and I'd always shut it off when the New Year's came on, though.
Well, that's because you had that whole, like, setup was so weird. Like, the suite with the boys and the girls sharing a suite.
Yeah, and then, like, they changed the cast, like, halfway through, and then, like...
Yeah, like, you have the pilot and you have, like, the one roommate, and then she just, like, vanishes and Kelly shows up instead.
Yeah, and, well, I think, like, Tiffany Amber Thiessen maybe wasn't, like, totally on board at first, and then
she wasn't, like... And then it's like, yeah, let's bring her in and get rid of Black Girl.
Yeah, they got rid of the black girl. They replaced her with Tiffany Amber Thiessen. This is like pre-Valerie Malone, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. She kind of still has the haircut, though, that Valerie had.
She has, like, it was shorter than on Saved by the Bell, but it wasn't, like, the Valerie style yet.
Okay, so, like, Valerie had a makeover.
Yeah. Because she has the Valerie hair in the wedding movie.
She totally does, because I believe they were filmed simultaneously. I believe when the Saved by the Bell marriage aired, like, Valerie was already a part of 90210. They probably, like, did this, like, a week before. Because I can't imagine it takes a long-ass time to film a Saved by the Bell movie.
I mean, they had those stunts, though. Running around Las Vegas.
Someone didn't come back. It was either, like, Jesse or Lisa doesn't come back to, like, the very end.
Jesse doesn't come back till the very end.
So she was off busy filming Showgirls in the same city.
No. Showgirls was filmed during, I think, around the time that Tiffany Amber Thiessen was filming Son-in-Law.
Oh, for real?
So probably around the time Saved by the Bell did 40 episodes.
Okay, well, I'm thinking, like, Jesse's, like, in Vegas. They're doing a Vegas-themed episode of Saved by the Bell. Like, Jesse's like, I'll stop by at the end after I, like, shake my titties for an hour.
No. No, I think, by the time the wedding movie came about, Showgirls had already happened. So they were like, yeah, Elizabeth, we'll walk you back for this, like, one scene. Don't want to freak the parents out.
Can we, before we get into this episode, can we talk about the Tori episodes, like, real briefly?
Okay, but what do you want to know about the Tori episodes? Let's talk about the Tori episodes.
All right. So, basically what happened is Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Elizabeth Berkley decided to leave Saved by the Bell, but I guess they, like, started filming the season already?
They had, like, filmed most of the season, and then I think Tiffany and Elizabeth were, like, done. They just didn't want to do it anymore. They had the movies. And then NBC, I think, ordered, like, 10 more episodes or something.
Yeah, so, like, they did a weird thing, though, is they just, like, rotated episodes. Like, so you get, like, a Kelly and Jesse episode. The next week would be Tori. Then we'd be back to Kelly and Jesse. But then when you get to the last episode, the graduation episode, which was, like, filmed, like, ahead of time.
Yeah, it was filmed like a year before.
There's no mention of Tori whatsoever. She was in the previous episode. She was like a main character. Everyone, they all like hung out at the max. Graduation comes along and she is just forgotten about. And she basically enters the abyss of Saved by the Bell history, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like the Tori episodes don't really count, though, for some reason.
They're all kind of a little weird.
Like, if you like someone that likes to watch things in some kind of linear order, it just fucks with your mind, because you're just like, wait, why are Kelly, Slater fighting over? Why are Zack and Slater fighting over Kelly in this episode? But in the next episode, Zack's all over Tori, and like Slater doesn't care. Like Slater's with he's not even with Jesse anymore. I was gonna say he's with his other girlfriend, but no, she's off the show too.
Yeah, the Tori, like, block of episodes is just odd. There's different tones. I think, isn't that when they do the drunk driving episode, is during the Tori episode?
Yeah, they kind of saved that one for Tori because they already blew their marijuana load on Kelly. So I guess you don't want to do like the same character experiences drugs or alcohol twice in the same series. Mm-hmm. So they wasted on fucking Tori.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that is the final season of Saved by the Bell, which is always my least favorite, just because of how confusing it is.
Well, how does Netflix organize episodes? Do they have all the Tori ones together?
They air the episodes in the way they are produced, I believe. They don't do it by the way they aired, so it's really fucking confusing. And then the Miss Bliss episodes are like at the end, I believe.
That's weird.
So it's really weird. It's like you start watching it, and then you get to the end, and then there's the Miss Bliss years. And it's like, wait, why is Zach like 8 years old? And why is Brian Austin Green in this?
Brian Austin Green was not in that.
He was in the, like one of the episodes, like he was a Miss Bliss character in like the pilot of Miss Bliss.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, you know what? I think I remember reading about that.
Yeah, there's some weird cameos. Like Tori Spelling is Veronica in some episodes. Violet, sorry. Same. It begins with a V. Yeah, there's weird cameos throughout the year. Leah Remini is the, like the rival.
Stacey Carosi.
Fucking Stacey Carosi. Ugh. If we had only known that she would have grown up to be a Scientologist, then escaped Scientology,
yeah,
perhaps we would have not making a big deal out of her.
Well, I saw an interview with her a while ago, and she said she still gets recognized for Saved by the Bell, sometimes more than she does for King Queen.
I believe it, because Stacey Carosi was kind of like a huge part of my childhood, because I kept thinking she was going to come back, and she never did.
Yeah, I always thought Stacey was like going to come back or change. Well, here's the question. How old was Stacey in comparison to Zach?
I just assumed they were all the same age, right?
I don't know.
I thought she was the...
You know what? You know what I bet happened to Stacey Carosi? She went back to New York, met Jesse's stepbrother Eric, and they got together.
Yeah, that's possible. Quite the possibility. But I
always got the feeling that Stacey was older, though. I don't know why.
She could have been like a year or two older. I don't know. It's... These were summer episodes, so she could have been like a college student, like on her summer break, and she worked at her dad's beach house or whatever it was, beach club.
Yeah. Malibu Sands Beach Club.
I always get confused because, like, whenever there's a character that's, like, in more than one episode, I just assume they play, like, this, like, larger role into the whole mythology of the show, and then Stacey just never shows up again.
Well, Stacey, she was part of that whole summer arc, though, so...
Yeah, like, so I thought she'd be around for like, the long haul, and then she was just forgotten about.
Yeah, she just, like... They go back to school, and Zach's all about Kelly again. Totally forgetting that he was gaga for Stacey Carosi.
We kind of get that same feeling in this two-part episode, Home for Christmas, because we are introduced to a character named Laura, who seems like she's going to be like a big deal.
Yeah.
And then she's never heard from again.
Never mentioned, never heard from, knows what happened to her and her dad.
Nope. So should we take it away?
Let's dive in to Saved by the Bell.
All right, so... where's the episode even begin? In school? At the Max?
No, it starts in the Morris family living room. They've just gotten out of school for the break. And they all go over to Zach's house. And his mom has cookies that she and Zach bake. So everybody starts eating. And she's asking them about their Christmas break plans. And I'm a little confused on the timeline. Because how many days do you think they have off of school before Christmas?
Well, it seemed like they had 2 weeks off, because Zach said something about 2 weeks of no books or something.
They must have like a week before Christmas off.
When I was in like elementary school, we got like a few days off before Christmas, and then we didn't come back till after New Year's, so you technically really could have gotten like 2 weeks off, so that seems about right.
This is what I remember. I remember going to school as like up until the day before, till like the 23rd is possible. Like if the 23rd was like a Friday, you went to school until that Friday.
I we got out like a little bit earlier than that, though.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, there's some things I don't quite understand. Like, why are they all just now suddenly getting jobs to earn money for Christmas?
Especially if it's like 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, it's like only a few days before Christmas. Shouldn't they have, like, tried this, like, a few weeks ago at least?
In like November, like right before Black Friday, and get like at least a job that lasts like maybe a month or a month and a half.
Yeah.
And all right, so Jessie gets a job working. She takes photos of like kids with Santa. She gets paid $8 an hour.
Yeah, she was making bank.
Slater is wrapping gifts, which he is horrible at, and he's only getting paid $4 an hour.
Yes. Okay. So I was curious about that because it seemed really, really low to me. And so I went and looked up what the minimum wage was as of 1991. And on April 1st, 1991, it changed to $4.25 an hour. But there was a provision in the law that expired in 1993 that a training wage of 85% could be paid for the first 90 days to an employee if they were 20 years or younger. That would have been $3.35 an hour.
What if you're just like a seasonal employee? So does that factor into that?
I don't know.
Okay. But I don't know, Jessie is making fucking bank though, just taking photos.
Yeah, but she's dealing with the cranky kids, the cranky parents. She gets kicked by the kids, but Jessie's kind of a bitch.
And Slater can't even wrap gifts, but they give it to him anyway, so maybe he's deserving of that $4 an hour. Maybe they gave a test ahead of time or hold on, how can you wrap? Let's see your rapping abilities, and he sucks. So they're all right, $4.
So when I was 20, I had a job at a gift shop in a small tourist town that we lived in at the time. And when I went in for the interview, one of the things I had to do as part of the interview was show that I could wrap a gift. Because some people want stuff gift wrapped, and you have to be able to prove that you can do that. How the hell did Slater get this job?
Maybe he's traditionally handsome, so I guess maybe that's why he got it. He has muscles, and he wears sleeveless shirt, so maybe because a lot of people that are going up and gift wrapping, they're their moms that have been shopping all day, they just don't have time to shop for their kids, so they just see a stud and they just go, oh, let's get all our gifts wrapped, and they probably pay bank.
And he breaks the champagne glasses. Well,
that is true, because he didn't tape the bottom.
Oh my god, okay, can we talk about how he wrapped those champagne glasses?
Yes, because I rewound this and I watched it a few times.
So, okay, the champagne glasses are in a box, the same kind of thing you'll get at Walmart or Target or whatever. They're in a box. So Slater puts them in another box and wraps that box, but forgets to tape the bottom so that when she picks up the box, they fall out and they break. Yeah,
and not only does he do that, but he wraps it basically upside down.
Yeah.
So he puts the bow on the bottom, so when she picks up the box, it just falls out the bottom. It's when you watch a movie on TV that takes place around Christmas time, they don't really completely wrap the gift. They just the top comes off, but it's still.
Yeah, it's always those boxes that the box is wrapped in the gift wrap, and then it's got the removable top. Even if it has a ribbon or something, it always has just that quick, easy removable top.
Well, they say it's because the sound of wrapping paper becoming wrapped on a TV mic sounds awful, so they always just do that. They choose that option. Yeah, it's a luxurious sound on Christmas morning, but on television, it sounds like Freddy Krueger nails being scratched against the basement wall.
Yikes!
So that is why I guess Slater has to do that, but he does it upside down, and the last champagne glasses of that type that are in the entire mall. Hmm. So does Slater have to pay for the woman's present? Because it probably costs $20 for those champagne glasses or more.
Well, because she takes some ribbon or something, she starts to strangle Slater, and Zack, he hands Zack his wallet, and Zack takes money out of Slater's wallet and hands it to the lady.
Yeah, there's almost a murder in this episode.
Yeah. I just want to point out that Slater has money in his wallet, safe of champagne glasses. Why does he need a job?
Well, they're all rich. None of them need jobs.
Like Kelly. Kelly is the only one who needs a job, I think.
Is she like blue collar?
Yeah, because remember, her dad gets laid off, and she has to work at the Max, and...
Yeah, that's like first season-ish, right? Alright, but we just brushed over murder real, like, easily right there. So this rabid customer grabs the boat, and she literally is strangling Slater for, like, a really uncomfortably long time.
Yeah, and nobody stops until Slater asks for help. Like, even the old lady working with him is like, whatever.
It's like 30 seconds before Zack shows up and, like, busts out the wallet. So, like, there could have been, like, a death of a major character in this episode here.
Yeah, it could have been really dark.
And nobody cared. Like, nobody in the entire mall, like, just did not even notice this was going on.
Yeah.
And then after that, like, they just let her go. She just, like, took off.
Yep, she was just gone. She probably went to the mall across town to find champagne glasses.
Yeah, she went to like a linens and things or something.
Yeah, she went to the Bed Bath & Beyond.
And got probably better things, and probably just bought wrapping paper and just did it on her own, like a normal person would.
Hey, have you ever paid to have something wrapped at the mall?
No, I'm a horrible gift wrapper, but I'll just go to CVS and just get like a gift bag. Mm-hmm. Get some some tissue paper, just shove it in there and make it look nice, throw in a little tag, and voila, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something. My stepmom, she almost doesn't wrap anything. She just has a collection of gift bags that, unless she absolutely has to wrap something, everything goes in a gift bag.
Yeah, I think, like, taking the time to wrap something is just annoying. Just shove it in a bag, or just, like, bust the gift out and just be like, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I would wrap everything, like, really specifically. Like, I would pick a wrapping paper color scheme, and that was, like, that for the year or whatever.
Okay, so, like, yellow, like, would be this year, and, like, next year you do, like, blue.
More like, I would go to, like, the Target, and I'd be like, okay, which wrapping paper do I like this year? Which one do I want to see under my tree every day for, like, the next 2 weeks?
Oh, well, I don't really, like, I just keep gifts, like, in my closet. I don't really, like, put them anywhere.
Well, because when I was in a relationship and we had a Christmas tree up, we would put the gifts under the tree.
And you would just look at them?
And then some years we have to pack everything up into the car and drive to Colorado to spend it with our family.
All right, so that makes sense, okay.
I would color code the gifts then. Like, I would have one color tag was for his family, another color was for my family, so that we didn't get everything mixed up.
That's way too involved.
Or accidentally give my dad his dad's gift, or vice versa.
Well, don't you just write your dad's name on it? Or do you just write, like, dad?
I write dad.
Oh, so, like, he'll see dad, and he'll think it's for his dad, and then just bring it to his dad?
No. My dad will know it's for him.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever spent a Christmas with my grandfather, actually.
Okay, just wondering. Christmas things are weird. Christmas, like, habits are strange.
Yeah. But no, because also my dad and my brother have the same first name.
Mark?
Yeah.
Is he a Mark Jr., your bro?
No, he's actually not.
He has, like, a different mid-name?
Yeah.
I wonder about that all the time. Like, why would you, like, so you name your kid after you, but then you don't make him a junior?
They gave him both of our grandfathers have the same first name, so they gave him that as his middle name.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
It works.
Junior.
Yeah, so, it kind of makes it, that's why it's like Dad for my dad and Mark for my brother.
Okay.
And then, it's Hayden for the stepmother.
Okay.
That's her name.
Hayden?
Haven, yes.
Like Hayden Panettiere?
Haven. Haven.
Like a safe haven?
Yeah.
Oh, that's new. Okay.
That was something you didn't know, is it?
No. All right, so now Zach meets up with Screech, and well, Screech has this like new toy. It's like a baby doll that pees.
Yeah, because, okay, here's the reason why. They're shopping for gifts for the kids in the hospital because they're helping Lisa with the children's Christmas party. They're going to spread Christmas cheer and bring the kids some gifts because being in the hospital on Christmas has got to suck.
Yeah, and, well, my father was in the hospital on Christmas one time. I'm not going to lie, it was not that bad as we thought it was. But I guess if you're a child, it probably sucks.
I think if you're a kid and you, like, Christmas is, like, this big thing.
Yeah, and, like, does Santa Claus even go to hospitals? I don't even know. Like, I don't know the Santa rules.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. And with the different, like, are they kids that are in the hospital because they have to have their tonsils out, or are they kids who are, like, deathly ill?
Yeah.
I think it's...
Like, are they burn victims? Is this, like, shallow hell?
Oh, gosh.
Like, we don't know. And I always love... Alright, so they always find, like, the skinniest friend to be Santa. So, like, in Nanotona we did a few weeks ago, they wanted Dylan to be Santa. And this week, Saved by the Bell, they want Zach to be Santa.
Yep.
Like, you would think, like, Slater's, like, a little more stockier and a little more built. Like, he'd probably kind of, like,
But
fill
maybe, I'm betting Slater couldn't get his arms into that jacket.
Well, they could have got, like, a bigger Santa, like, a regular-sized Santa suit. I don't know, like...
Well, because Slater wears the elf costume and it doesn't have sleeves.
That is true. He has to show... Like I said, he always has to show off his muscles.
Yeah.
That's just how Slater was. But, like, they don't... Like, there's not, like, a heavier kid in the school that, like, they're just like, oh, can you be Santa? So it's, like, believable.
But, well, okay, can we be real? Their problem... Why didn't they just get the guy playing Santa at the mall to play Santa?
It'd be like, hey, guy at the mall playing Santa, do you want to come to the hospital for, like, an extra couple bucks or something? Who knows?
Yeah, for, like, an hour, and just, like, these kids, they can't go home for Christmas. They're all getting their tonsils out. Spread a little cheer.
And I would think, like, the actual hospital would probably, like, have someone on retainer to do this, and just be like, why don't you guys just all give gifts to this guy who we get every year to play Santa?
Yeah. Well, it's probably like a volunteer sort of thing.
Yeah, but, like, it's just, like, you know what, like, a skinny, blonde-haired kid is going to come in as Santa, and it's going to be Zach Morris, and it's just, like, you're disillusioning the fantasy of Santa.
Hey, the kids seem to buy Zach as Santa. They didn't totally buy Slater as an elf.
No, they thought Slater as an elf was a D-bag. They're like, you're not an elf, you're a D-bag.
Then, yeah, so they're buying the presents for the children at the hospital. That's why Zach was at the gift wrap. He was dropping off a bunch of presents for Slater to wrap for the party.
And Screech took his toy out of the box.
Yes.
So he had, like, a gigantic doll.
Yeah, he had, like, one of those baby dolls that looks like pee when you squeeze it. And, of course, since this is Screech, he probably put in way too much water. And this thing is just, like, spewing water all over Screech.
It was like a fire hose. It was like a fire hose, like, over the mall. And it got all over his, like, shitty outfit.
God, that was a really bad outfit, even for Screech.
Oh, speaking of outfits, I want to own Zach Morris's sweater in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like, purple with, like, that, like, weird graphic print sewn in.
Yeah.
It was the best sweater I have ever seen in my life, and I need to find this. Like, I want to write to, like, NBC or Peter Engel or whatever the name of it, Sam Bobrick, whoever it is that, like, created the show, and be like, do you still have Zach Morris's sweater? Because I want this.
I need to know where I can find it in 2015.
Yeah, or I'm going to, like, study this, and I'm going to find, like, a seamstress that can make this for me.
And what even knows how to knit, sweetie.
Squad goals for 2016. Get the sweater that Zach Morris is wearing in this episode of Saved by the Bell. Because he wore it in both parts.
Yeah.
Except when he was in the play. He changed for the play.
Yeah.
But, so they go in, so Screech and Zach go into the bathroom to, like, clean up, I guess, or I don't, they go in the bathroom.
Screech, instead of, like, just holding the doll over the sink, takes the doll into the stall, and there's a toilet flush. And Zach is like, what the hell? Zach has that look of, why am I friends with Screech? Like, what can I do to get rid of this kid from my life?
Like, why wouldn't you just throw the doll in the actual, like, the sink and just, like, let it drip for 5 minutes or whatever?
I don't know. Screech.
But then...
I think I said Screech is just Screech in this episode. Like, that's all I have. Like, what purpose does Screech really serve in this episode?
None. And you know what? Like, ever since I came like that Dustin Diamond is an asshole in real life, I just see Screech and I just shrivel in pain.
Yeah.
Like, I see everyone, like, I see Jesse, I see Lisa, Zach, Slater, Kelly, and I'm just like, oh, they're all friends, still. But then you see, like, Screech come in, and you're just like, oh.
It's just like, ugh, this guy.
You know he was thinking something, ugh, like, I just get the chills. Like, it honestly has ruined Saved by the Bell for me.
Oh, Dustin Diamond, you are trash.
And I hope you hear this podcast, because you will never be a guest on the show.
Never.
We will
are trash.
Yeah. You know what? Mr. Belden's not even in this episode, I don't think.
No, this is the 11th episode without Mr. Belding.
Damn, I just realized this. Fuck.
Yeah, it's very odd not to have Mr. Belding around.
Yeah, instead, like, to play, like, the adult role, like, Zach's mom just kept appearing. And I think it's, like, the only time Zach's mom ever appears in the show, to be honest with you.
No, she's in the episode where they have the fake IDs.
Okay.
She busts them at the club.
Is it the same actress?
Yeah, it's the same actress.
Damn, so, like, they kept her on retainer all this time? Like, you might be in the show again in 2 years. Like, stand by.
Yeah. And I think there's, like, a couple episodes where you see Zach's mom. You definitely see his mother more than you see his father.
We also see the Morris living room in this episode, which I think
this is the only time we ever see the living room.
And it's really big, and it's nice looking, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's very spacious. It fits, like, all 15 of those kids.
Yeah.
Or however many people there are on the cast.
Well, remember, Zach says he lives in a neighborhood where you're poor if you don't have cable.
Yeah, so they're definitely well off.
That means Jessie has money, too, because Jessie lives right next door to Zach.
Yeah, she lives like throwing distance, basically, from what I remember from previous eps.
Hello, he was able to get a microphone into her room with a cord.
And spy on them? I remember that.
The slumber party.
Yeah, it almost seemed like he lives underneath them, too.
It's basically like, I think it's one of those subdivision communities where they have certain layouts of the house, and maybe one house has the layout one way and then the next house has it mirrored.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've always wondered, the layout of Bayside, though.
Yeah.
Because I know it's an LA community, but we're not really exactly sure where it is, so I just kind of want to,
Yeah, it's definitely the LA area.
Sometimes
they mention LA in the episode.
They specifically say LA in this episode, but I've always was thinking, Orange County in my mind, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know where it is. It's like Springfield.
Well, don't forget, they were originally from Indiana.
That is true, and they westward hoed.
Yeah, Belding, Zach, Screech, and Lisa just all ended up in California after Indiana.
Yeah, but they never mentioned the Miss Bliss years, though, so it's an alternate universe, kind of.
It's like they lived in Indiana, California.
Yeah,
and then the town got renamed Bayside.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. It honestly is giving me a headache just to try to comprehend that.
Let's not even try to figure it out. So Zach and Screech are in the bathroom. Oh, no. Zach, before Screech with the butt doll, he ran into Laura, and she dropped her apple.
Yep, so
and he hits on her.
We're going to spoil it, because unless you figured this out, you've seen this. She's the homeless girl that we learn later on. She's homeless. But there's all kinds of weird clues.
Yeah, she only eats an apple, though there's something else in that bag.
Yeah,
the apple's in her hand, but there's something else in the bag.
It's probably maybe breadcrumbs or something. Who knows?
Probably some saltines.
Yeah. But she's late for a job that, she really needs to get to, and Zach's dude, it's just a high school job. Why are you, rushing this? But we'll later learn that it's the only job that's like supporting her family.
Exactly.
So we don't know how much money she makes, but it's probably like $6 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Zack and Screech go into the bathroom to do that weird thing with the baby doll, and this is where they meet a homeless man.
Yeah.
They find him shaving in the bathroom.
Yeah, he comes in, he checks the phones for loose change, and then he starts shaving. And Screech is all like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they're all flabbergasted that there's a man at the mall shaving. And Zach's like, oh my god, I think he's homeless. And Screech is just like, oh, but he looks like he might live here because he's shaving. Like, he says some stupid joke.
Just because you spent a night in the mall, Screech, doesn't mean other people do.
Yeah. So, then Zach leaves him like a couple bucks in the, the payphone. So it's weird that there's a payphone in the bathroom, though.
Well, now it's weird, but that totally was a thing back in the day.
I don't remember ever there being a payphone in a bathroom, though.
Really?
I remember a condom machine in the bathroom.
Well, they can't show that on a kid's show.
No, but I don't know, like a payphone. Like, the payphones are definitely where the urinals are, like where they would be. Like, I guess maybe...
Well, they have to use those bathroom sets for the men's and ladies' rooms sometimes. So.
Yeah, like, they definitely did not show any urinals in this men's room, so maybe that's what they substituted for. Mm-hmm. But, like, I feel like, I don't know, the bathroom doesn't seem like a private place to, like, have a phone call. Like, you're on the phone and, like, some guy's, like, taking a shit, like, 10 feet away from you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, they definitely took some liberties, because I really don't think that payphones belong in bathrooms. Even in 1992 or whatever.
People talk on their cell phones in the bathroom.
Yeah, but I guess, like, that's your own prerogative.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, you would have the payphone, like, in a common area, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like near an entrance, or down by the food court, maybe. Or right in front of Macy's. So, I don't know. It seems kind of weird, but the guy got, like, a couple bucks, and he was, like, kind of happy.
He was all, Merry Christmas to you, young man. So Zach probably put in, let's be real, Zach probably just put in, like, maybe $30, $60.
It was like $4. They were definitely singles, and there was like 4 of them, so it was definitely like $4. But that probably bought him like lunch. That probably got him like a McDonald's McNugget meal or something.
Something, yeah.
And he had a little left over for his daughter Laura, who we'll soon learn is also homeless, who works at the same store as Kelly.
Yeah.
They fold clothes together at Moody's Men's Clothing.
And they are awful at folding.
Yeah, they suck at folding. And you know what? They're not even folding, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're just, like, standing there talking. Kelly's kind of, like, trying to, like, figure out, like, what's up with Laura. Maybe they're going to be friends. And Zach is on the prowl for this girl, Laura, because he has some, like, raging crush on her.
Well, because she didn't, like, drop and worship him, like most girls tend to.
Yeah, so it's now his mission to... He knows she works at the mall somewhere, so now he's going to go ask her out to lunch. Mm-hmm. So I guess
he's looking at, like, every store, and he's got Screech looking, too, because, you know, Screech is so reliable. Yeah,
so him and Screech are, like, going store to store, and I guess they stop at Kelly's store, and lo and behold, they find her.
Yeah.
And Zach asks her out for lunch. I guess she agrees, right?
He says, sure, after Kelly kind of coaxes her into it. She's like, oh, Zach's good people. And I'm like, really, Kelly?
Yeah, so
really?
Where is this in Zach and Kelly's relationship? Is this before or after? I was trying to figure it out.
This is after they dated.
So she, like, she didn't seem to be the least bit jealous.
No, because I think this is probably I want to say this is post-Jeff.
Okay, yeah, so I'm like, alright, Kelly's kind of cool, like, she's okay with Zach just dating some hot chick that she works with, and she's even, like, egging it along. Or, like, maybe Kelly's kind of kinky, who knows?
Who knows, she's Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah, she's a mystery, but she's also everyone's heartthrob. Mm-hmm. So Zach and Laura, they have a lunch date planned out. They're gonna go down to the food court.
But homeless guy is walking by, he waves to Laura. And, Zach makes a comment about how he hopes he spends the money he gave him on food and not something else. And Laura gets, totally offended.
Yeah, insinuating, crack or a nip of alcohol. So.
Okay, can we be honest? A lot of people would go and spend it on alcohol instead of food.
Yeah, because why not? And you know what? This guy, for a homeless man, he didn't even look that disheveled. He shaved every day. It seemed like he had, a nice suit. So he was definitely, going on, job interviews and stuff. He was, trying to keep up appearances. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like your average Southern California homeless man that looks like Charles Manson.
He's not the creepy guy who's, sitting outside a store, yelling random crap at people as they walk by.
Yelling about the apocalypse or something, aliens are coming.
Yeah, trust me, I've had to walk past some homeless that were totally sketch.
Yeah, so he seemed with it. They allowed him to walk through the mall. I would assume if he was a straight out of Skid Row homeless man, they would not let him in the mall. Security would have him out right away.
They'd be like, okay, you gotta go now.
And for a homeless chick, Laura actually was nice looking. She had nice clothes.
Her clothes were clean. They weren't maybe they weren't brand new, but they were these. They were the kind of stuff you can wear to work.
Yeah, it was something you would buy at merry-go-round.
I have no idea what that is.
A chick store in the early 90s. I don't know if that was just a Massachusetts thing, but she had she had nice clothes. I think she had a cashmere pink sweater too, if I remember this right.
So it's more of a recent change for them.
It seemed like she was wearing a nice kind of mom jeans, stonewash mom jeans with high rise jeans, and then she had a pink cashmere-ish sweater on. Mm-hmm. And then in the second part of the episode, she was wearing a floral top, a button up. Mm-hmm. I seem to remember. I remember the comment. I'm where does she change, and where does she have all these clothes, and why are they not wrinkled? And she her hair always seems to be freshly washed.
Yeah.
So I mean, for home, they must have maybe a membership of the YMCA, and they just go there and shower every day.
Yeah, there's sometimes a laundromat also has a shower.
Yeah, so they must have connections.
Borrow, rent, or something.
Yeah, maybe with that $4 that Zach gave the dude, maybe he was able to I don't know, wash all their clothes later that night.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because they were legitimately trying. They weren't homeless by unfortunatism. They were they were stuck on the streets. He was just trying to find a job because he lost his job, and they thought it would be cooler to live in California.
Yeah, they thought it would be easier to find work in California than wherever they were from, Indiana. I don't know.
Yeah, they somewhere in the Midwest. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
But I guess he hasn't eaten. The father hadn't eaten for so long, so he.
No, he hadn't eaten. When you don't eat, your body weakens. And you pass out.
Yeah, so he passed out in the food court right in front of Slater's gift wrap depot.
Yeah, after he has a conversation with Slater, and Slater gives him a whole roll of wrapping paper, when all he wanted was some scraps, and Slater's all I use more than that on a ring. Are you freaking kidding me, Slater? Oh my god!
He should have been arrested or something.
Dear Slater, you are not even worth $4 an hour.
He's giving away the product.
Yeah.
What he gave away probably cost more than an hour of his work. Mm-hmm. And he just hands it to that guy, and then he immediately passes out from starvation.
The guy passes out. What I love, I was hey, so he passes out, and then everybody, that's, right around him at the time just, stands around.
Everyone stands around, except for, the cast members of the show. They, come to the rescue.
Zach, Slater, and Screech suddenly are the only ones that go to help him, and Slater's all on top of the whole PR thing.
And they have someone
call 911. Screech, and Screech is "What's the number?" Come on, Screech, you're not this stupid.
But someone, like a security guard or something, has one of those like mouth guards that you put over for CPR.
Yeah, they have like a first aid kit.
But it's just
security
like
guards coming over, so it's not like everybody was useless.
But why didn't the security guard just do the CPR? Like he had all this stuff. Like he seemed like he could have taken care of it, but they just allow like a teenage.
Slater, I think, seems more in control of the situation.
But they just allow like a teenage stranger to do this. Like usually you have to be like certified or something.
No. Slater's trained in CPR though because he's a lifeguard.
Yeah, but like if you work at like a mall, like they don't usually want like other people to do this stuff. Like you need to have like certain staff members. Like if someone gets hurt,
I think in a matter of life or death, it's whoever knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, but I mean, do they really know that Slater's a lifeguard? No, the guy just goes.
No, but he's the only one who seems to have any clue what's going on, what to do.
Yeah, but like the security guard, instead of being like, no, I'm like a licensed security guard.
Isn't trained.
That like the security guard's not like
he hasn't gotten his CPR license yet.
Yeah, but like the security guard's like, oh, okay, you got this. Hold on, here's all my stuff. You do it. Instead of just being like, I'm trained, like I'm specifically trained for this job. Like I should do this. No, but like here's all my stuff, and then Slater does it.
I think you're overestimating this.
No, I'm not overestimating, because, you know what, I'm going to go, you go to the mall tomorrow and collapse, and wait for someone to be like, I'm a doctor, but then the security guard's going to come and go, no, hold on, let me do this, and then we'll figure out after. Like
okay, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I had a problem with that scene. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I am overestimating it. I feel like there's if something happened to the homeless guy, then his family could have sued Slater, and he might not have had a license, so he'd have been fucked. But the security guy could have been a licensed professional, so he would have had some kind of insurance, so he would have gotten away with it. The mall would not have gotten sued.
I feel like maybe not in 1991.
Okay, today this would happen.
1991, no way.
I know, places I've worked, we read the handbook, and they're like, if you see someone bleeding, do not attempt to help them. Go to HR and let an HR professional know.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because if you touch somebody when they're bleeding, then they might sue you because you did something to them.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, so it's a brave new world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know, that was, the first thing I thought of for some weird reason. But, they all end up at the hospital because they're going to bring toys to the kids.
Yeah, so, and Zach had gone on the date with Laura. We forgot about that.
So he did so he went on the date, and then someone came up and talked about the guy that, collapsed, the homeless guy that collapsed at the mall.
No, hold on, let me think. That's not it. No, they go on the date. Well, they weren't going to go on the date. And Lisa teased Zach about Screech doing better with girls than him. And then, Kelly and Laura both had lunch at the same time. Had their lunch breaks at the same time. And Laura sat down with Zach and started eating all his chips. And then they, went and walked around the mall together. And they went and saw Santa.
Oh, yeah.
Later,
So Laura sat on Santa's lap, and Santa's like, what do you want?
whispered something, probably can my dad get a job for Christmas, please?
And then Jesse was like, oh, how much is this going to cost, Santa? And he, shook his head no. You would think Jesse would know how much a picture costs.
Yeah, you think it's Jesse, though.
She's making fucking $8 an hour, double the salary of anyone in California. And
She's making more than Kelly's making. She's making more than Slater's making. Slater's losing money at his job, let's be real.
Yeah. And, all Jesse has to do is snap a picture and, throw a kid on her lap. And then she's like, how much is that going to cost Santa? Santa doesn't know that shit. That's, Jesse's job as the, photo-taking elf.
Yeah. That's... Jesse's the one who handles all that stuff.
The finances. Yeah, Santa's up there fucking dealing with children.
Yeah.
And listening to, horrible things that people want for Christmas, Masters of the Universe toys.
Or whatever was popular. No, Power Rangers or something in 1999.
Probably Ninja Turtles at this point.
Ninja Turtles, yeah.
Definitely Ninja Turtles. Power Rangers was 94, when I was getting out of toys.
That's true, 93, 94.
Yeah, and I was onto teenage things by that point. Mm-hmm. But alright, so now I guess Laura
Guy passes out, they give CPR, and then the gang goes to the hospital for the Christmas party, and Zack is dressed as Santa, Kelly is dressed as Mrs. Claus, Screech is Rudolph, and then Jesse and Slater are elves.
And they kind of do like a little exploring around the hospital for some reason, and now they discover...
No. They, like, have the party, and they leave a mess. Like, they give out the toys, and there's one kid that's like, who wrapped this? And so they're just like, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's what's inside that counts. And the kid's like, oh, so you wrapped it.
Oh, like those bastard childs.
And then, so they have, like, the party, and, like, one kid's like, it never snows in California, and then, like, fake snow starts falling from the ceiling. And it's just a mess. And Zack asks Lisa if she knows where the homeless guy is, what room he's in. She's like, oh, my friend in admissions will know. And, like, she gives this guy's information to Zack, Slater, and Screech. Which, can we be real, is pretty much against hospital policies.
Yeah, against HIPAA and all that crazy weird stuff.
Yeah, you can't just, like, give anybody somebody's information.
So then they go into the hospital room, and, like, we get the cliffhanger. We learn... I think Zack's like...
They open up the door, and there's Laura sitting with her father.
And Zack's like, Laura, what are you doing here? And she's like, this is my father. And then, like, it's like, to be continued.
Yeah.
So then we come back in, like, the second part of the episode. Mm-hmm. We get that quick, like, summarization of what happened. Like, Zack's telling he's breaking the fourth wall, and he's, like, going through it beat by beat.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of, like, in dealing with the aftermath of it. So...
And Laura's all like, this is my father, Frank Benton.
Yeah,
he has a name. He's not just homeless guy. His name is Frank Benton. So
now he gets a name. We learn they're homeless. He lost his job, like all that stuff we mentioned a few minutes ago. And she wants to buy her dad like a nice suit jacket.
Yeah, like a nice blazer that he can wear on interviews.
And there's a really sweet jacket at Mr. Moody's like store for men's clothing or whatever it's called. And
yeah,
she kind of like
store for men.
She wants it, but I guess it's going to cost like 3 weeks of her salary.
Yeah, and this is only her second day on the job.
Yeah, Mr. Moody won't give her an advance, so she's kind of like, nah, forget it, never mind. And Zack tries to invite her to...
Okay, I'll be honest, she's been there for this is her second day. I would not give her an advance either.
No. But we're...
as a person who has been a manager, I would not even suggest someone get an advance unless, you know they are, sticking around.
Yeah, but there seems to be some weird connections here. So they're doing a play down in, the food court. It's A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, Mrs. Morris, Melanie, she is in charge of a production of A Christmas Carol, so of course she casts all of Zack's friends.
Yeah, but we get these weird illusions that Scrooge is Mr. Moody, who owns the men's clothing store. So his name, instead of Scrooge, it's Moody. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of like a Christmas grump, and so there's these weird things that are now going on. So now they're trying to tie it in all together. So Zack wants Laura to be in the play, but Laura, she's only been on the job for 2 days, and now she's asking for time off.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Okay, again, yes, Kelly started the same day as she did, but Kelly already had this on the book. She was like, I'm not available this day because I'm in this play. Well,
Yeah.
She committed to the play first.
Laura's asking the day of the play if she can get in.
Yeah, the day of the play. What the hell?
But it only seems like there's
Zack thinks this is a great idea because Zack has never really worked a day in his life.
No, but it when they show the store scenes, it only seems like there's 3 people that work there anyway. So if it's either going to be Kelly, Laura, or the random third person that they keep showing. So is the random third person just going to work do everything in the store on Christmas Eve or whatever day it is before Christmas?
Yeah.
no, it's not going to happen. So, like, I don't know, like, realistically speaking, Zack is just an idiot. But he still tries. He still, like, wants to see if Mr. Moody will allow it to happen. So Zack comes up with this great idea where he's going to promote the store in the play. So he's like, you know, like, when we're doing the play, Christmas Carol, we'll just keep promoting the store. Mr. Moody's like, okay. So this one girl, like, has to, like, work the whole store for, like, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, she
I
has
would be pissed if I was that girl.
Yeah, so she has to, like, help people, like, find sizes, deal with the dressing room.
She has to find the sizes, she has to fix the displays, because you know people come in and they mess up all your displays.
And ring them out.
And she's got to ring them out, she's got to deal with, like, everybody.
And it's
then
not...
she's got to be like, she probably has to be like, oh, and don't forget to get your presents gift wrapped at our small gift wrap center. Just don't get with the muscular guy.
And it's not like Mr. Moody helps, because he goes to the play.
Yeah, no, he goes to the place. So this poor girl is there all alone, and Kelly takes the blazer from the display, or sports, whatever it is, and she asks the girl to put it aside for her, because she's going to pay for it when she gets back.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kelly has the money to buy this jacket for Laura. Why is she working at this store?
Well, I think she was just... I mean, is it established that Kelly's rich, or does she just have the job because she's not rich?
Kelly doesn't have money. Like, well, Kelly works at the Mac.
Yeah, so maybe she does have, like, some extra money. She's probably been saving up for...
some extra money. She wanted to get her sister something specific, and she just needed a little extra cash, and she wanted to plead her savings, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I believe they mentioned, like, in the first part of the episode, in the Morris's living room, I think she's just like, oh, I just need the job to get extra money for Christmas. So maybe she's like, fuck it, I'm not going to buy Christmas presents. I'm just going to buy something for Laura instead, because she needs it more than anyone else I know. So, I mean, I thought it was completely believable, though. I don't know, I didn't...
Though, if anybody were going to do that, it would be Kelly.
Yeah, well, Kelly, she has a heart of gold. Mm-hmm. Even if eventually Laura could become competition for her, but she's got a heart of gold. Like, she turned away marijuana.
That is true.
She's done a lot of amazing things over the years.
Yes, Kelly is a saint.
Yep, that's why they call her Saint Kelly. I believe no one's called her that in the history of the show, but let's just pretend they do.
We're gonna say,
like,
but she is.
Like, I'd be more surprised if Lisa bought the jacket for Laura. Which, actually...
Honest, I would be more surprised if Jessie had done it.
Well, yeah, because Jessie, like, even though she's kind of, like, a feminist and she's kind of, like, into the world and, like the environment and stuff, she is kind of, like, a self-bodied person.
Yes. Like, Jessie's that person who, like, talks the talk, but when it comes to the point where she graduates law school, she's going for the big corporate job where she makes a lot of money.
Yeah, probably. Like, she's not going to be, like, the environmentalist lawyer. She's going to want, like,
she's
6 figures.
For, like, big oil or something.
Yeah, she represents the oil companies. She probably works for, like, BP.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's where Jessie Spano is today, working for BP. She's trying to, like, clean up the oil spills. They're, like, working with their PR department and, like, suing anybody that comes after them.
The oil spills.
She's got deep pockets. And she fucking kicked Slater to the curb, and she just married some dude with, like, a Porsche or Ferrari.
Yeah.
Or a Maserati.
That's okay. Slater probably has a hot cooking show on the Food Channel.
Probably. And he's probably dated, like, someone from, like, The Real Housewives or something. One of those girls.
Yeah.
Probably,
Basically, Slater became Bobby Flay, I bet.
Who's the one on, that we just talked about a few episodes ago that Connie Britton's gonna play on American Crime Story? Faye?
Faye, oh, crap.
No, I'm talking about, she's, the what?
Faye Resnick?
Yes. Slater's probably married to Faye Resnick right now. Or the equivalent, the Bayside equivalent of Faye Resnick.
And nobody talks to Screech.
No, Screech is...
Except for Belding, because he can't get rid of Screech.
Well, Belden probably retired or is dead by this point. And Screech is probably the principal. Who the fuck are we kidding?
Yeah, Screech is probably the principal, and the kids are like, "This is our principal. Oh my god!
Did you ever see the movie?
We can get away with anything."
He probably turned the school into the school like at the beginning of Dangerous Minds, the Michelle Pfeiffer movie. Like he rode.
Oh my god! Poor Bayside.
He rode that school into the ground. Like that school system is dead. It's just like all thugs and gangsters now.
Even with the big oil money.
Yeah. Well, Screech doesn't have the big oil money. Jesse ain't coming back to save his ass.
No. They discovered oil on the school property.
Oh, for real, like on the show?
Yeah, for real on the show. There was an oil spill, and the ducks got covered in oil.
Oh, well, they probably spent that money on, like, something stupid like hoverboards or something that never took off.
Yeah,
And
probably.
now the money's gone. Like, it was some, like, or, you know what, they probably got swindled, because Screech is, like, stupid as rocks. So, like, some, like, grifter came into town and just swindled them all out. Like, Sawyer from Lost came in and just, like, took all their money.
Oh my god.
And now they don't have, like,
I'm
computers.
not picturing this in my head, and it is hilarious.
And now, like, the school doesn't have, like, lights or something. Like, they all stand up when they learn.
The only electronics in the school are Kevin the robot.
Kevin the robot.
Robot.
Is Kevin the robot, like, still charged, though? They don't even have a way to charge him anymore.
No, probably not. He's probably, like, just, like, stuck in the middle of the hallway somewhere.
He's covered in
dust.
cobwebs.
Yeah, he's covered in dust and cobwebs and graffiti.
This is definitely the school where, like, Fear the Walking Dead starts at.
Yeah.
With all the zombies. It's Screech's school.
Oh my god, we got so off topic.
It's more believable than the rest of this episode.
Okay, so they get back from the play, and the blazer is gone, and Mooney slips out.
He immediately thinks that Laura stole it, without even, like, questioning anybody in the store. Oh, the one girl in the store, who's not even at the cash register, by the way.
Yeah.
She's, like, MIA.
I
Like,
think she's, like, trying to help somebody.
yeah, probably, because she's doing, like, fucking 16 jobs at once. But he comes back. He's not upset that his store is, like, in shambles. There's probably, like, more things that were stolen than that jacket.
Yeah. So he, like, sees this jacket is missing and freaks out. Okay, have you ever worked clothing retail?
Yes.
Did you ever have a boss who, like, something was, like, not on the display anymore and they freaked out? Thought it was stolen?
No, I actually sold something that was on a mannequin one time and I got in trouble, but it didn't flip up because they thought it was stolen. It was just like, where's the shirt? And I was like, oh, I sold it because it was like the size that somebody wanted. And that was it. It wasn't like hell to pay. It was like, oh, okay.
No, when I worked at the t-shirt shop, my boss would get, like, really, like, anxious if, like, something that had been the display got sold. She'd be like, oh my gosh, like, did you sell this shirt? I was like, hey. Her first assumption was always that somebody stole it.
Maybe your boss has seen this episode of Saved by the Bell many times.
But yeah, I'd always be like, no, I sold that one. Like, I was like, I couldn't print another because we were out of that size or we were out of that art, so I had to sell that one. And
so, Mr. Moody accuses Laura. She runs out of the store in tears.
And then Kelly's all like, I was going to buy it for her.
And Mr. Moody now feels like an asshole. Because he should.
Yeah.
He should.
And then everybody starts looking for Laura and her father, and nobody can find her.
But it's because
But then Zack and his mom stopped to buy a Christmas tree. And guess who just happens to be at the Christmas tree lot?
Mr. Benton and Laura, who live in their car there.
They live in their car.
And they live in, like, Al Bundy's Dodge. Like, it looks just like Al Bundy's Dodge.
It is an old, worn-out car.
And it doesn't start. The manager of the Christmas tree lot is like, you gotta get out of here, but the car won't start. And then Zach's like, oh my god, it's Mr. Benton. And he, like, comes over, and he's like, we were trying to find you. And Laura's like, don't talk to me, I'm a thief. And he's like, you're not a thief. He's like, Kelly put the jacket aside. She was going to buy it for you or for your dad. So then Mrs. Morris is like, you guys need to come over for a Christmas Eve dinner.
Yeah.
Now,
for dinner.
Now, like, the
blah,
whole
blah, blah.
school's there. Like, all their friends are there. Like, they have no family.
Yeah, like, they're all at Zach's house. Like, come on.
So, they're all at Zach's house. Then Mr. Moody stops by because he has nowhere else to go.
With Kelly.
Yeah, 'cause-
gives, like, Frank the jacket.
He knows that Frank and Laura are going to be there, so he shows up with a jacket, and he's like, oh, I know it was just a misunderstanding. I'm sorry I was a dickhead, but here you go. I bought it for you. Or he probably just took it, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's his store. He
Yeah,
has
that
his
is
own
true.
store.
But, I mean, I guess, like, there's some kind of fund account that has to buy it.
Yeah.
So everyone's happy, but then Mr. Benton plays, like, Silent Night on the piano, and everyone sings together.
Mrs. Morris invites Frank and Laura to stay with them.
Indefinitely.
Maybe he can talk to Mr. Morris about getting a job because Frank used to work in computer manufacturing or something, and Mr. Morris works in computer sales.
And so now they're going to live in the Morris household, but they're never heard from again.
Yep.
That's it. Like, they're dead. Like, Zach Morris's parents are probably serial killers. They
are Zach's parents.
Yeah, like, even Zach's parents are never seen again. Zach could be the murderer. Who knows?
No. Zach's parents are seen again. They're seen in the wedding movie.
Are they the same actors? Like, the same actress came back for this wedding?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like it's like a different parent every time they show them, though.
Well, because you don't see them very often.
I don't know. It's not like Kelly Taylor's mom. Like, we know Kelly Taylor's mom. It's like, it's Zach Morris's mom who...
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I could, like, if she popped up on something, like, today, that I just happened to watch, I'd be like, huh, is that Kelly Taylor's mom?
No.
A little IMDb, and be like, oh, yeah, it is.
I would definitely know Kelly Taylor's mom, because she popped up infrequently, and they even wove her into the new 90210, too.
Well, yeah, because of Silver.
Yeah. But Zach Morris's mom, if she popped up on, like, an episode of, like, Jessica Jones, I'd be like, oh my god, it's fucking Zach Morris's mom.
Melody Rogers does an episode of Jessica Jones. You'll have to let me know.
Will do. You never know. She could be on it. So what did you think of this episode?
It could have been so much better.
It could have been better. You know what? If they made it a one-parter instead of a two-parter, it might have, like, played out better.
Yeah. And also, I just think there are other things they possibly could have done for Christmas.
I mean, I believe they've done other Christmas episodes, so maybe they really wanted to hit that, like, homeless territory.
Yeah, I think they didn't. This is the only Christmas episode.
Like, well, I was thinking, like, 90210 did, like, a homeless Thanksgiving episode that fared pretty well, so I was like, maybe Saved by the Bell wanted to do a homeless Christmas one.
Maybe, but, like, I just think maybe there could have been something with Zach where Zach learns not to be so greedy, or Lisa learns not to be so greedy.
Yeah, I think they've done that in another episode, though, with Lisa learning not to be greedy, though. I feel like that's, like, a very early episode where she,
Or Kathy learns not to be a bitch.
That's never gonna happen. Let's get real. There's an episode in the first season where Lisa, like, accidentally maxes out her dad's credit card.
Yeah.
And so they have to, like, sell all her clothes.
And then she has nothing to wear, and her parents basically have to go and buy her new clothes anyway.
Yeah, well, like, her father ends up being forgiving. He understands. I don't know. But they definitely do, like, that. They've already taught that lesson, so maybe they just needed, like, oh, let's just, like, hit, like, the homeless problem that's happening in Los Angeles.
You know what they could have done? They could have just done, like, the kids in the hospital sort of thing.
Just stuck with kids in the hospital and made that the focus and not the homeless teen and dad.
Yeah.
Who, like, for being homeless, they seemed like they were okay, though. Like, I wasn't worried about them.
Yeah, I really wasn't worried that either. Like, maybe they've only been in California a couple weeks.
They established 2 months, which is not that long. Like, it can take, like, 3 or 4 months to get a job.
Yeah, it can. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. And, you know what? She found a job. Like, the daughter had a job. She was working.
Yeah, she had a job.
And none of them were addicted to any kind of crack or cocaine or anything, or heroin, so they seemed like they were okay.
Yeah.
Like, we should have...
I'm betting that Mr. Morris helped them out, and they were out of the Morris home pretty quickly.
Yeah, like, if they really wanted to do a homeless episode, they should have got, like, a drug addict to move into the Morris household. That would have been a much funnier circumstances, maybe.
God.
Like, Zack learns how to make a crack pipe. On Christmas. But, yeah, like, I thought it was a good episode, but if it was, like, a one-parter, it would have, like, hit home a lot.
It feels like it's too much. Especially when you add in that whole, like, Christmas Carol play thing.
Yeah, like, the second episode, I was, like, I checked to see how much time was left, and it was, like, 10 minutes. I was like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? I gotta sit through 10 more minutes of this? And they weren't even at the play yet.
Oh my god, the play is the worst. That is probably one of the worst conditions of a Christmas Carol I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much like, I'm kind of like tired of the Christmas Carol, so whenever like the Christmas Carol shows up in TV shows, I'm just like, ugh, like, again, the fucking Christmas Carol?
Oh, okay.
Like, I seriously think every sitcom or TV show has done a Christmas Carol episode.
Pretty much, because it's so easy. Just get like 3 people to be ghosts.
Yeah,
and you like flash back to stuff.
Yeah, so I'm done with that.
You know,
at least 90210 did something different with "It's a Wonderful Life." I'll give them kudos for that. We didn't bring that up in the last episode. We talked about it. Mm-hmm. But so where are we going from here? We might be at the end of Christmas, but we're not sure.
We are thinking of possibly doing another movie for Christmas.
But if
one,
not,
I think we both enjoy more than Babes in Toyland.
Okay. You know what? We're gonna do it. We'll find a way. We'll squeeze it in. As a very special announcement, we are gonna do. You can find us on Netflix. I believe it's called "I'll Be Home for Christmas."
Yes, and it stars the one, the only
Jessica Biel.
Taylor Thomas.
And Jonathan Taylor Thomas. But Jessica Biel is also in it before she was Jessica Biel.
It was like right around the time she was on like Seventh Heaven and stuff.
Yeah, but she wasn't like Jessica Biel in all capital letters. She was just like in Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel, Mary from Seventh Heaven.
Not even Mary from Seventh Heaven.
Hear rumors of her being a bitch unless you lived in Colorado.
No, like, yeah, so this is like way before she did anything worthwhile. Like before she like took her clothes off on the cover of FHM magazine.
Yeah, this is like a year before that.
Yeah, and before she started to take herself seriously as an actress. So we're going to do that. That's going to be our Christmas present to you. And then we're going to kind of just ring our way into the new year. And we have some fun, exciting episodes. However, we are always open to suggestions.
So you can drop those suggestions, your questions, your dares to a very special podcast at gmail.com.
Or Twitter at Very Podcast. You can send us a tweet or a DM, I believe they're called. Or just
direct message.
Or just like comment on any one of our YouTube videos. We'll see it.
Yeah.
Just tell us what we should do. If you want to write something really mean to us, go for that also. We'll probably just make fun of you on a future episode.
Yeah, we probably will.
We'll definitely will.
Sorry, from Garfield episode.
Yeah, sorry guy from Garfield episode. If you hear this, then fuck you. So, as always...
Bye!
Until next time. And I think I'm going to put in some jingle bells right here.
Okay, that sounds good.
Alright, jingle bell. Jingle bell rock.